What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. As always, I am your host, Easy the Shinobi, and I do apologize if you hear some stuff on the background. Currently looking after my doggo on this fine Thursday morning. Please send your well wishes to my dog. She is currently recovering from some surgery, and so let's spend the last few days looking after her and along with my brother and ensuring that she's doing okay. She is doing fine, and so if you hear some noise in the background, I do apologize ahead of time. As she currently has the plastic cone around her head, so and I know it's bothering her, but just she's a trooper, so only a few more days and she'll be out of it. But yeah, in any case, yeah, this is another episode of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. Another short one. There is hasn't been much major news so far in the anime on the anime front of things over the last couple of weeks or over the last week or so since the last time we met. But let's go ahead and get started on what we do have. Pull up the notes. And to start us off, stemming from the Fire Emblem Nintendo Direct that happened earlier in the week, we do have some information on the New Fortunes Weave game that's coming out in September, specifically a manga that was announced as part of the Nintendo Direct. A manga for the new game is going to come out on September 4th, starting with the prologue chapter for it. It's to help to promote the new game when it comes out on September 17th. So for any Fire Emblem fans, myself included, if you want to get a head start on some content or on some reading material before it, this is going to be good. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the Nintendo Direct of it, but from the clips that I've seen overviewing the game, it does look like it's going to be pretty good. Um, I do believe you get to play. I think this is the first time you get to play not just the main character, but the four division leaders as well. Plus, apparently now they have guns in the game. So, can't, this is that was a big shocker to me. I have to wait till next month for it. So, well, yeah, a prologue manga is coming out for it. Again, the first chapter is coming on September the 4th. So, be on the lookout. Let's see, moving on. The Dangers in My Heart manga will be ending in 3 chapters on chapter 199. I believe it's near the end of this month, ending about a decade or so run of the manga. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm waiting for the manga to officially end to catch up on reading it. If you haven't seen the show itself, it's 2 seasons out of it. I do recommend it. I do highly recommend it if you're looking for something a bit more slice of life and romance anime. I do have another recommendation later on for our 3 episode review that you guys will want to check out in the year. But first and foremost, if you haven't watched Angels in My Heart, can't recommend it enough. It is a pretty damn good slice of life show. So go ahead and check it out. Let's see. The Promised Neverland manga will return with a one-shot chapter that's going to be coming out the 39th edition of the Weekly Shonen Jump on August 24th. So in a few weeks from now, this is to celebrate, I believe it's the 10th year anniversary for the manga. I believe the one shot is going to focus on Rei, and it's supposed to be 31 pages, if I remember correctly. So any Promised Neverland fans, I'm pretty sure you got in the news, but in case you can't, yeah, we're gonna get some new content for it, so be on the lookout. Finally, with last piece of anime news, we do have the Bleach spin-off, Don't Bleach My Fist 2, that was announced. The story is about Ichigo and Joe leading rivaling high school delinquent gangs in an alternate universe somewhere. There hasn't been any information as of yet as to when the spin-off manga will come out. But once we get more info, we'll be sure to keep you in the loop. And yeah, and this is part of a big year for Bleach because on top of the last part of Thousand Year Blood War currently airing, I believe they're also getting a new video game as well. So Bleach fans are eating good this year. And it's I know I have a buddy of mine that binged it over the summer, and he fell in love with the soul, so he's for sure eating good this year. But yeah, let's see. I know it's a quick anime news recap. Again, it's a pretty slow week, so uh, we're covering most of the major topics as well. But yeah, let's get into the 3 episode review. And as I mentioned in the Dangers of My Heart section, this is the 3 episode review that I'm about to talk about. It is based on a slice of life sort of romance anime that came out earlier this year, I believe. Green Spectre and myself covered it around early January and late December when it first got announced and when they were promoting for it. But this is a 3 episode review on Tamon's B side. Um, so basically, a quick tidbit for it. It is a slice of life, semi romance anime, at least for season one. Um, that came out. The first season is fully done. Um, it came out during the spring season for this year, and it mainly follows a high schooler who is a fan of this idol group called Face, and her name is Otage Kinoshita. Um, and not only is she a fan of the idol group Face, but specifically she's also a fan of the lead singer, whose name is Tamon Fukuhara. And she currently has a part-time job as a not only does she lead the Face fan club in her school, and she's also part of the fan club in general. But let me tell you, when she's a fan, I mean she's a fan. She essentially has almost all the Tamon merchandise that they took out of Face. Her basically picture your typical idol fangirl that buys the merch, buys the autograph cards, and what have you. And she basically that's one of the main reasons why she has her part-time house cleaning job, so she can be able to buy tickets for the concerts and also be able to buy merchandise. Now, now basically the whole I won't specifically get into the majority of the season. Or just again, this is just a 3 episode review. But we did get to see her basically at school. She has her friends who are also fans of the Face idol group. And one day she essentially gets called up for a job. That's connected to her house cleaning, apartment cleaning agency. And so basically they send her out to this client that has recently lost their housekeeper and stuff. And much to her surprise, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess where this is going, her client is her favorite idol singer, Tamon Fukuhara. But here's the thing about Mr. Fukuhara. So just to preface this, whenever they pass Face on TV or on the concerts, he's usually presented as this kind of playboy ladies man, basically face of the group, no pun intended. Basically kind of promoted as kind of like sort of bad boyish, but basically again like a ladies man calls his fans his girlfriends and stuff. Um, and so you would think because when Kinoshita goes to his house, she doesn't know it's him. And so when she opens the door, she sees the apartment, or when she goes into the apartment to go clean it. At first, she doesn't know it's his apartment, and you see basically stacks of paper. First you see stacks of paper out on the corner and kind of an unkept apartment. And that's when she finds out that the real Tama Fukuhara is in the ladies' man, the ladies' man bad boy that he's portrayed on television, but the dude is kind of a hermit, where the dude is kind of recluse. He's shy. He is awkward, and and on top of that, he is very self-depreciating. As an example, he usually when he kind of messes something up by accident, he tells Kinoshita like, oh, you know that, you know what, you know what, this world is better off without me, and you know, I really can't do anything, right? So I'll just rot away with the garbage. You could just leave me, you could just leave me there to rot away with the garbage. But Utage being the super fangirl of Tamon as she is, she decides, nope, no, we can't have that. So I'm gonna lift you up. Not only am I gonna clean for you, but I'm gonna lift your uh your your mental health as well up, and help you become more positive and help you basically help you realize that you know that there's people that love you and love you for who you are and stuff. And overall, you know, it is a pretty good at least slice of life anime. I believe it has 13 episodes. The first three is just essentially Kinoshita and Fukuhara having this brand new kind of worker client relationship, and you know, specifically Kinoshita seeing more of a Fukuhara, or she calls it Gloomihara's more gloomy side, as you can tell. Um, and then further on as the season goes, they do introduce more of his bandmates and all that. But uh, I'll leave that part up to you guys, because it is I do highly recommend that you guys watch this in case you've been looking for any slice of life, or you know, high school slice of life romance animes and stuff, because it is well worth the watch. And not gonna lie to you, they do Face does do a performance like midway. I think it's for their summer concert, midway through the season, to promote a new song. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a low key pretty good song. Low key kind of a banger. It is basically kind of one of those heavy J-pop romance songs, but those boys killed it. Other than that, you know, I do highly recommend it. Again, I believe it's 13 episodes. They're all out right now, and I think they're all out dubbed as well. So in case you want to go check it out, dubbed, feel free to do so. I watched the sub, and by far it was hilarious. And I don't believe, I have to double check on this, but I don't believe it got announced for a season two. But in case it did, I'm happy for it. I'm hoping it gets a season two, and I believe the manga is still currently ongoing as well. So in case you love season one, feel free to also check out the manga and show support, so that way the season two gets does get created. But yeah, again, the name is Tamon's B side, and you know, happy watching. Let's see. We also have a manga recommendation following from last week's episode, regarding the one-shot manga that was taken up by Kohei Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia, called "Don't Laugh Shijima-San," or the translated or the other translated title, Quit Laughing Shijima." And this one, it is 61 pages, so you know, you can read it during a lunch break or whenever you have some free time. Now, lucky enough, I did manage to read this while I was waiting for our dog to get out of the clinic following her surgery. But yeah, going into it, it does follow. As like I mentioned on the previous episode, it is sort of a boy meets girl horror manga. I'll say it is more supernatural action than it is horror. Um, but just to get into it, it does follow these two middle schoolers, Azami, and the title character Shijima-san. Now with Azami, he is a transfer student who transfers to to Koshiro City, which is like this oceanside bay city. That's, I think, if I remember correctly, in more southern Japan. 2 years prior to the start of the manga, or prior to the start of the one shot. And you know, obviously, from the context of the boy meets girl aspect, he does have a crush on Shijima. Um, and so basically, at least at the first half of the first part of the manga, they go into the backstory of both, where um, he introduces himself, and it's kind of one of those awkward introduction, oh, more high energetic sort of awkward introductions. But the person that he manages to impress is Shijima, and from there he started developing a crush on her. Um, and where we start off in the manga is Azumi talking to his friends at the rooftop of the school, essentially covering talking about future plans and what they plan to do as what type of careers that they want to seek as adults. Um, and, with Uzami, he doesn't know. He has no idea as of now, what's his end goal, what's the career that he wants to go for. Um, and that's where basically Shijima pops out. Um, and basically, basically has some friendly banter and stuff. And on the but the oddest thing happens on their way back to class, or when it's time to go back to class. Um, when Asami turns to follow Shijima back to go back to class, he sees a spirit following right behind her. And basically, he later figures out that he's the only one that can see the spirit. And it turns out, the more you read into this manga, or basically like around the middle of the manga, it turns out that the Control City, they have this essentially this sacred fish hook that's hung up on that's initially hung up on one of the platforms that's in the water that's nearby the edge of the city. And this supposedly, if I from what I remember, the city basically selects um somebody to essentially offer as a sacrifice to a spirit that lives under the water. And so how they're selected by a council of the city, or they're selected by the mayor of the city, and as well as a council for them. And whoever gets selected, they have to wear that, or they have to attach that fish hook onto them until it's time to essentially be sacrificed to the water spirit. Um, and then following that, there's this whole arrangement that's set up with the I guess with the victims' families to be able to get compensation for insurance and for any future issues that come along, because seeing as how as a thank you for as sort of a thank you for your sacrifice payment thing. Um, and unfortunately, Shijima is selected for that ritual to help for the water god. Now, this isn't the spirit that follows her around. It isn't the monster that's beneath the ocean that she's essentially going to be given to. No, it's later on. Well, actually, you know what? I kind of want another thing about it. I kind of want to save that for you guys to read, because this is a pretty good one shot. And basically, it does give some clues as to who these spirits that are following Shijima is, or who they are, and especially towards the end. But yeah, we do see that basically Azami, or we get more context, or not more context, but we do see more examples later on that Asami is one of the few people, or at least as of now, I think he's the only person to see the spirit that's following Shijima. Um, and so it leads to essentially a confrontation with the demon that's under the water near the end of the manga. And so, which again is beautifully done. The artwork is stellar for this, and I'll leave it as vague as possible. That is usually the mo. When we give out these manga recommendations on here, is to help encourage you guys to read the manga. But again, I do highly encourage you guys to read this one. It's less, again, like I mentioned, it is less horror, but it's more supernatural slash action type of manga, or type of one shot as well. And and I could for sure see this in case Horikoshi wanted to develop it into a full on series. I could for sure see this being kind of like a continuing series because they do leave it open at the end to in case they want to continue it on, and it's well worth it. So in case you have any time on your lunch break today, or in case you want to essentially see see basically the first piece of post My Hero Academia Horikoshi content, I do recommend Quit Laughing Shijima or Don't Laugh Shijima-San. It's currently on the Shonen Jump app, but I believe it is you can read it for free on the Viz Media or Shonen Jump website as well. So again, 61 pages. Yeah, it's I'm hoping this does continue on because it kind of does remind me of a bit of like a sort of supernatural My Hero Academia, or actually, you know what? Scratch that. It reminds me a bit more of Goku Raka Guy, which is another manga that I do highly recommend. Currently going through, I believe, the third or second volume of it, a physical copy, but again, the one shot for Horikoshi is called Don't Laugh Shijima-san or Quit Laughing Shijima. Yeah, feel free to check it out. Other than that, yeah, this is another quick episode. Hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday. In case you're listening to this at work, or in case you listen to this on a drive or something, thank you again for checking it out and for basically checking out all the other episodes as well. I'll be back next week with another installment of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. And until then, stay safe, stay blessed, um, stay cool as well. It is we're near the end of summer, so it is getting pretty hot out. And yeah, play video games, watch some anime, read some manga, and enjoy your weekend. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.